We've managed to set also my hometown of Malmö on the map by eventually reaching the point where we have one of Europe's largest and most important game conferences. This hasn't been all that hard to do. It's more about persistence and good understanding government support. And yes, do please note 19th and 20th of May next year, we'll be holding the same conference again. And Malmö, you don't find Malmö, Sweden by going to Stockholm and then looking for the right bus. What you do is that you fly into Copenhagen, take the escalator into the basement, ride the train for 30 minutes, and then you're outside my office door, more or less. This is one way of influencing what comes out at the end, of course. Because the game developers say, okay, you want us to do the end product in our own languages, but the publisher decides that. We have no influence. Well, if you're going to take our development support, you better make it a requirement in your contract, or don't take our money at all. That's more or less the way we're trying to influence it at the front end. A bunch of projects have been supported. This is the scale of the money we're talking about. And I will now go into this table in detail. About 1 out of 10 projects get funded, and the strange thing, it's evened out very nicely over the different countries. There is no political wish that there should be some sort of mathematical fairness all over. Send in 10 applications, and eventually one support round pops out, it seems. We get them all from all over the place. Some of these projects they've been in the pipeline for I would say a little over a year and a half, those that have been in production the longest. And Simon, it was correct, right? Latin America was released in September, or? Good. So we have some pretty good hopes that we will be seeing these products on the market in one way or another. Well, one way of ensuring that they get onto the market is, of course, it's skipping the publisher and going direct to digital distribution for those projects that can benefit from that. So we are setting up a Nordic Games portal, and we've acquired a lot of generic domains in our own languages, and that is something that we're getting up and running well in the closest few months. There's me again. This is a 6-year contract that was renewed for the coming 3 years just a couple of days ago, actually. So we're sort of in mid-term now. And I'm not the one who decides on what project gets funded. It's a politically appointed group of experts that are supposed to cover both game development and media issues, such as the protection of minors from harmful content. And I was a bit scared at the outset, will this ever work? It's worked beautifully. So if you want a game support system to work, get the game developers involved. Take one of them hostage as sort of proof that government is taking this business seriously and in an adult manner. There's nobody trying to be a parent and look down on the industry. An industry that hasn't had any good experience with government involvement, you should approach very carefully, not to get a backlash. And well, it's nice. We are contractors. We are not public officials, and it's lovely to build a government. But well, you can't actually be quite sure what happens next year. So PricewaterhouseCoopers midterm evaluated us and called us something, well, almost like a success. And they actually gave us an out and said the stuff that we hadn't done as we should yet could be explained by the budget cuts. Thorgerður, the Minister for Culture in Iceland, claims this about us. Well, she's a politician and a mother of young children. And it was, to some extent, her gut feeling that this was getting really important and wasn't available in our own languages that started off this whole thing. Thank you.